Prefield activities. Introduction. Preferred activities for data quality assistance include all preparation made before the takeoff for the field activities for sensors. Some of the DQAA preferred activities include inventory and device testing, training of supervisors and enumerators, profiling, preparation for field practice, device provisioning, profile check, correction and profile activation, device tagging, and device tagging, material collection and distribution. Next slide. Uh, Inventory and device testing. The data quality assurance assistant will assist the LGA field coordinator and field FDQM to take inventory of the materials received for each LGA. The DQAA will be providing support to the LGA field coordinator and the FDQM in taking inventory of the PDAs, the power banks, um, functionary jacket, and the all the materials required for this field work. Take provide assistance in taking inventory of all these materials. And the option under next this thing is he or she, under the supervision of DQMs, the FDQM here in particular, will also be responsible for checking the functionality of tablets and peripherals. So not just taking inventory of the PDAs and the chargers and the power banks, but they will also, with supervision of the FDQMs, and assist the FDQM in checking the functionality of the tab PDAs to make sure that they're actually working. Turn on and run some tests on the PDAs. So that concludes it for inventory and device testing. These are what is this is what the data quality assurance assistant is required to do. So the next one, training of supervisors and administrators. The data quality assurance assistants are to partake in the training of functionaries. Yes, functionaries, they will train specifically on data collection process, end-to-end census process, CAPIA operations and troubleshooting, other contents of the census process as assigned. So they'll be training supervisors and enumerators on data collection process. The process involved in data collecting, that using the census pad, the whole usage of the census pad application, and then also the use of CSN3 and the interoperability of these two applications, how the functionaries are supposed to use the census pad and then Google Map to locate their EAs, and how they'll be able to use the census pad to synchronize their jobs and everything. So all these processes will be taught by data quality assurance assistant during training, and then also discuss the end-to-end census process. And then the CAPI operation that also involves how the census pad and CS entry, even the Google maps, how all they all work, and troubleshooting. The simple troubleshooting solutions that the enumerators or supervisors can do while they're on the field. The easy ones that they can easily do when they encounter some certain problems with their PDAs, their devices, and then the census part. So the GQAA is expected to teach them all that, and then other contents of census process as assigned. The next one says preparation for field practice. Data quality assistance will assist the FDKM in preparing the functionaries for field practicals. The activities include selection of sample frame, GPS coordinate of the training center. This is actually required because, being that the DQA are the ones on the field, and it will be in every training center, in every class during supervisors and mentors training. They will be the ones that will assist the FDQM, who is just going to be one or two persons posted in an LGA, or even more this thing. They will assist in getting the GPS coordinate of a training center, because that will be used to by the FDQM to fetch EAs in relation areas around that center, training center, for field practical. So that is what they'll be doing. The expected to do the selection of sample DQA is expected to do their selection of units, and they will send it to FDQM, who will use it to fetch a enumeration area for sample enumeration area for field practicals that the enumerators and supervisor would do. So the total number of trainees at the training center, they will be taking records of the total number of trainees at the training center. They will be keeping attendance of each of their class and training centers. They'll be helping the FDCAM to do that, and keeping records and everything. Profiling, yes. They will not actually be running the profiling like uh, using the profiling template given to FDQMs now, but they'll be assisting the FDQM in the profiling. How? By taking proper good care, taking total number of trainees at the training center, making sure that each functionary's contact details like phone number, emails, and even full name are all correct. Arranging they will also be in charge, like making sure that it's correct, and then making sure that every phone numbers are in the right order. If we want 11 digits, we make sure that the functionary submits 11 digits and no mistakes and everything. So that is how they assist the FDQM in profiling. Device management and distribution of tablets. So they will be distributing PDAs um, to their functionaries, supervisors, and enumerators for field work. So they'll be giving it to them. They will help with device management, providing support, troubleshooting on the field, and then helping onboard those devices with MDM and the other applications that be used for the sensors. So device deployment, tablet provisioning, onboarding of MDM and devices. I just mentioned that fetching of spatial data, EMAP, reading frame and base map. So they'll be assisting the enumerators and supervisors set up their PDAs, run the first setup of provisioning to fetch their base map, activate their profile on the PDA, and then fetch the spatial data, that is the enumeration polygons and the building points into their um, PDAs. So device provisioning. The Dqaa will assist the FDQM in tablet provisioning for the enumerators and the supervisors. There are four applications that must be provisioned on the tablet before the commencement of work. Here are the four. These are the four. Yes, they started naming Tiny MDM as one, Census Part 2, Google Maps 3, CSN 3, 4, and then web browser they also named it for. So this is where the confusion comes in. The tiny MDM is automatically is the administrator, the MDM administrator. So it comes in, but for field work, these are the four applications that will be required: the census part, Google Maps, CSN3, and the web browser. So these are actually the application, four application. This is already serving as an OS. We can't technically call it an application, but it's already just serving as an operating system, managing the operating system, kind of like its settings. So, but these are the four applications. So he says here, notes that the provisioning of MDM on the tablet helps to install other applications like Census Pad, CSN through web browser, and Google Map. Once the device is connected to the internet, the DQM must check to ensure that these applications are installed successfully on all tablets and the tablet IDs are documented. So the Tiny MDM serves as a settings app for this MDM, for this MDM system. So it's not technically like an application, a mobile app. These are the mobile app required. These four applications here. So next, profile check and activation. All functionaries, enumerators, supervisors, and DQ must be duly profiled using the approved profiling template ahead of the commencement of the field practical. All functionary profiled will activate their profiles with their individual phone numbers on the census pad. Once the functionary's phone number has been inserted on the functionary profile activation page, an OTP will be sent to the phone number to complete the activation process. The DQA must confirm and ensure that all phone numbers profiled are correct, as this may affect profile activation and fame fetching. So here, the last paragraph, the DK must confirm and ensure that all phone numbers profiled are correct. He will do so by making sure that every day, whenever they are taking attendance, he will be asking the supervisors and administrators in their class to confirm that their phone numbers are correct, making sure every day, even to the third day when the profiles are supposed to be, be completed, and then profiling is supposed to be completed and uploaded to the system. So he keeps doing that so that any functionary that, by any emergency loses his phone number, can easily change it with the Dqaa. So and then he will take assist the enumerators and supervisors in setting up their profile and activating it by this explains how this is done. Every functionary will be profiled by the DQM using their phone numbers. So once their phone numbers is put into the system, they'll be assigned a particular area to work on. So and then the functionaries like the enumerators, since the supervisors will not be having a PDA, the enumerators will now they have to use their phone number to activate that PDA. Anytime an enumerator wants to work with a PDA, he has to activate it with his phone number. And when one how to do that, he just goes to the provisioning menu, enter down, click the first option that says activate profile, enter his or her phone number, and then click activate profile. An OTP, a text message will be sent to the person's phone, and then he will insert the message, and yeah, and then the tablet is activated. He needs to do this to be able to use that PDA to work, and to make sure that the records sent to the system says that he is the one doing it. If he does not do that, will not be receiving that record, and then maybe the record will be sent in a different person's profile, which is not good. So next slide, profile check and activation continues. The DQA are to assist enumerators and supervisors to activate profile and fetch maps and EA. I already said that. Frame on the census pad. The maps will be fetched using the phone numbers of the functionary assigned to a particular enumeration or supervisory area as shown below. So here is what the census pad looks like. Once you open up the activate profile, you will get to this page. You're now expected to type in the phone numbers here. Once you type in the phone number, you click generate activation code. And the activation code that means the system will now send you an OTP. You check your phone number that you've already entered here to make sure you get the text message. And once that is done, you enter the OTP and then click submit. That is done, the next one, this shows you the EAs that have been downloaded, which will be downloaded automatically. It will be downloaded automatically. All the building polygon, EA polygon, and building points will be downloaded automatically on successful activation of your profile. So device tagging. Dqaa will assist supervisor and enumerators in tagging tablets. The device tag can be found in provisioning menu of the census pad. The unique ID generated is then transferred to the back of the PDA under supervision of the DQA and supervisor. So one under the process of provisioning, device provisioning, is device tagging. The enumerator, the functionary is expected to tag his or her device so that will be able to tell the device from the other device. So once he clicks on generate unique code button, the system will get the PDA will give the functionary a unique code. He has to write it down on either the masking tape that will be given to him or her, or a sticker that will be given him or her, whichever was present. You write down the code on that, and then take that sticker and stick it at the back of the PDA. That's now he will be able to tell his PDA apart. He can just say this is my PDA because that unique code is there because he knows his code, and this will be done with DQ will be helping them do that and make sure supervise the functionaries, the administrators, and supervisors to do that. So material collection and distribution for field work. The DQA receives tablets and other field materials from the LGA field coordinator and the FDQM for designated area of coverage, 3 to 6 supervisory area. The materials collected are distributed to the supervisors within their designated area of coverage. So once uh, before the field work, before they go to the field work, the DQAA will now collect field materials, that's the PDA, power banks, and maybe field jackets and umbrellas and the rest of them. But PDAs in particular, then gives it to this his functionaries, the supervisor, working under him. A DQA is expected to work with either a minimum of three supervisors or a maximum of six supervisors. So he will be given that their materials by the field coordinator or the FDQM, and then he will now distribute those materials to the supervisors. So, practice question: mention the preferred activities of the DQA after installing MDM. Other application needed for field automatically downloads without the internet. This is false because you need the internet for it to download. Profiling of functionary is the responsibility of the supervisors. True or false? This is completely false because it's the profiling of supervisor is functionaries is the responsibility of a DQ and a DQM, DQ and a DQM. So, all right. In conclusion, careful understanding, planning, and execution of DQA Prefield is the key to the success of 2023 PAC field operation. Therefore, all DQAs must be conversant with all pre-field activities they are expected to carry out before the commencement of field work. Thank you. You count, be counted.